Object snap tracking. Let's go ahead and try to recreate this design. You have this design too. You can find this by opening a new design, browsing to your chapter 5 in your project files, and opening simple shape. I'm going to go ahead and cancel this. Now there's lots of different ways that you can create this yourself, and one way isn't necessarily better than another way, except whatever way that you can probably reproduce this the fastest is probably the best way to do it. I'm going to go ahead and zoom out, scroll over a little bit, and since I zoomed out a little bit too much, I'll move in just to the side a bit again. And you can do that with your middle mouse wheel. So I'm going to go ahead and activate the rectangle command. I'll specify an arbitrary point here, and now I can do this a couple ways. I can create an area, or I can insert the dimensions, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the shift 2 to activate the @ sign, and that way I can specify my next points relative to this point that I specified. Now the points that I'm going to use are going to be the 50 plus the 13, which is 63. I'll go ahead and press tab, add the 44 plus 13, which is going to be 57, and I'll go ahead and press enter. And there you go, I recreated the shape. Now I want to do these two lines here and here. Now there's a couple ways I can do this. I can go ahead and offset it 13 units in, and let's see what happens when I do that. I'll go ahead and select the offset command. I already have 13 set as my offset distance, so I can go ahead and press enter. I can specify this object here and go ahead and pull in. But as you see, I'm not actually creating the lines to offset. I'm offsetting the actual rectangle itself. So let's go ahead and delete that. I'll go ahead and hit escape. I'll select this here. I'll delete. And what we need to do is we need to use the explode command. So I'll go ahead and activate explode. Select the objects, which is this rectangle here, and press enter. And now as I select an object, you can see it's a single line instead of the rectangle. I'll go ahead and hit escape. And now what I need to do is offset this single line 13 units to the left. So again, I'll activate offset. I will accept the default value of 13 that I already have. If not, you can go ahead and enter 13 yourself and press enter. I will select this object, pull it over to the left, and select once again to place it down. Now I could also grab this object here, pull it down, and I'm already done. I'll hit escape to exit the command, but let's try this another way. I'm going to go ahead and highlight this line and go ahead and delete it. I'm just going to create a line itself. I'll select the line. I'll go ahead and zoom in just a little bit, pan over to the side. I will shift right click and I'll use from. The base point would be from here. I'll go ahead and select that. I'll pull down and I will enter 13 as my value and I will press enter. And now I'm 13 units down. I'll pull it across and I will shift right click, and just to make sure, I'm going to make a perpendicular line to this one over here. And there you go, I've created the line again. I'm going to hit escape, zoom out, pan over to the side, and now all I need to do is create this circle here. So how do I do that? Well, there's a couple methods that I can use. I can go ahead and activate the circle command, come over to the side, and then I can make sure that object snap tracking is turned on. That will be F11. You can toggle it on and off if you don't have it on. And the way to do this is to go ahead and make sure that within my object snaps, I can right click, make sure that I have midpoint selected or any other various point. I'll go ahead and hit escape because my circle is placed between the midpoints of these two lines. I can go ahead and find the midpoint here, and I can create a circle here. Pull it out, but that's not exactly the midpoint that I'm looking for. So let's just put it anywhere. The midpoint that I want is actually between this point and this point. And the midpoint that I find from this bottom is from this point here to this point there. So I'll go ahead and delete this circle here and hit delete. Now what I'm actually looking for is the midpoint between here and here. And then I can create my circle. So let's try that once again. I'll go ahead and activate the circle command. And this time, as I need to specify the center point, I'll go ahead and shift actually I don't need to use shift. I can just go ahead and right click. Go ahead and activate the quick calculator, pan this up a bit, and what I'm going to use is the MEE, which stands for midpoint between two endpoints. I will double click that to make sure it stands right here. I'll hit apply, and now AutoCAD is asking me to specify the entity for the end snap. I'll pick here, and now I have my circle right in the center. I can go ahead and enter the value of 10 that I need to and press enter, and there you go. I've created my line, or the circle that's in the center of those lines. I'll go ahead and add the diagonal that goes across the middle, and as you can see right now I have ortho mode turned on. I'll go ahead and turn that off. Now I can get a nice line that's a diagonal or any angle that I want, and I will choose that endpoint there. Hit escape, and there you go. I've recreated that shape from there to here.